So today's session is going to be run by myself. I'm in product marketing, and my job encapsulates basically speaking to you guys, the customers, understanding what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see more of, and relaying that back into the engineering team, and with the idea of kind of building out a better product for our end users. So I kind of sit in the Venn diagram of customers, engineering, and the customer support team here. So I lean very heavily on those guys who are past masters at this. And then we've got Steph, who's going to be running us through the demo. Steph, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yes, hi everybody. So I'm one of the CSMs at Houzz. I've been here for 6 years, and basically what I do, me and my team, is we work directly with you guys, and we try and just make sure that you have like the best understanding and best experience on Houzz. We like to give you strategies on how you can utilize the software and basically get the most out of it to most, have an effective, positive impact on your business.
Yeah, just
we're getting a bit of feedback there from Shank. If you could stick yours on mute.
There we go.
From that, yeah, great. Perfect. Thanks, Steph. As we crack into this, what I would encourage everybody to do is, this is very much an open session. So like, if you have questions, just, either type them into the chat, or, you can speak out loud. Very much interactive. So the best way to kind of get clarity on something is to, ask a question. And if we're going through the demo, we can show you in the demo exactly, what we're talking about, or what's the best practice. So very much, I would encourage that.
Okay, the workshop I'm doing now is just about customer service.
Okay, the 8 of Hertz.
Communication.
There we go.
So here's just the schedule for the day. So Steph, I'll turn it over to you.
Perfect. So what we're going to go through first is just a quick review of CRM, what that is and why. Okay, so first of all, what is a CRM? This is a customer relationship management tool. Just a question for the group. Is anyone currently using a CRM tool outside of Houzz, or do you have experience using other CRM tools? Feel free to type into the chat or just speak up. No? Okay. So basically, like, what this is this is a common place where you can put all of your leads that you're currently working on, your potential leads, and this is going to allow you to just stay more organized, with hopes to get you win the project, and move it over into the project section. So just some facts and figures. So 92% of businesses describe CRM as a crucial tool in achieving their revenue goals. So from experience, like working with lots of builders and working with lots of interior designers, I know that lots of times they'll have someone send them like an inquiry through Instagram, and then they'll also have leads coming in through Houzz. They'll also have someone give them a referral. And so what a CRM does is that's going to allow you to have everything all in one place. So you have this constant pipeline that you're working on, that you're trying to close. Some projects, as you all know, start at different times. For interior designers, even for builders, lots of times people will be like, oh, I've just put an offer in on a house. This is what I'm looking for. And then they ghost you for a couple months, and then they come back. And so I think that having all of that information, if you have that ready to go from that first call, that's going to help you close the project a lot faster and a lot quicker. So of the businesses using a CRM, 74% notice improved customer relationships, 65% saw increased sales, and then 50% boasted improved productivity. So the big two impacts here are better lead management, and improved client communication. Any questions so far?
Well, I think just to say there, Steph, there's a couple of people have come in the chat, and to your question, is anyone using a CRM? There's a lot of people who've said no. So I think,
Mhm.
today's session could be particularly beneficial, particularly if you're not using a CRM, and just to run through the general, benefits of it. But yeah, has anyone got any questions so far? No. All right.
All good?
Let's
Cool.
go.
Wonderful. Okay, and then these here are just some testimonials that I'm going to share. So this person is a builder. They said Houzz Pro allows us to communicate effectively with our clients and ensure critical touch points aren't missed. So this person said it's very user-friendly. You can tell Houzz is aiming to be super efficient. I'm enjoying using it and hope it keeps developing. Their biggest benefit they saw here is also, I like the ability to store files within the lead and the project. So I'll show you how to do this when I go through with the demo. And then here's another one. This is from a designer who has a business with curtains, blinds, and shutters. So she said that the CRM system is to track all my leads has been invaluable. I can make notes and move each lead on as when I'm ready, checking what stage the project is on and making logs when I make phone calls, give reminders when I'm in the project. So being able to just track again, like what the status is, when you last spoke with them, and then just constantly know when you need to do follow-ups in order to catch up with them and then close that lead.
Perfecto.
Cool. And so just to recap that, and we'll dive into a lot of this and you'll see these things come through when I give the demo. But yeah, the three key benefits are one, it's going to help you stay organized. So it'll allow you to increase your productivity, following up where you know you need to follow up. Keep track of every single lead. So again, nothing falls through the cracks. It's going to allow you to win more clients. So spark interest with potential clients. And be known for professionalism. And then the last one is increased revenue. So all the benefits convert into tangible increased revenue, as you all know. Cool. Okay, Jonathan, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now, if that's all right.
Over to you.
Perfect. Okay, guys, so I'm just going to jump right into my demo. So this is my client dashboard. So when you log into Houzz Pro, obviously it's going to take you here. So when I go into the lead section, this is where I can see all of my leads. So if anyone is an ultimate user on Houzz, all of the leads that you get from Houzz are going to automatically go into here. But this is where you can also add, and what we want you to do is add leads from everywhere else, because think of this again, you want to have just like this constant dashboard in a central place where you and your team can access. So when you're adding them in here, so you just click on add leads and then create a new lead. So again, this can come from your website, it can come from Instagram, it can be a referral, and you can also organize it however you like. Lots of designers will use like their name and their address, and then once they convert it into a project, they'll give it a code. But for example, let's just put the details of the client. So I'm just going to use Joe Richardson, and then you put their email in here. You can give as much information as you want. And then the lead name, I'm going to call this Joe House Extension Brighton. And then you click create lead. And so now what it's going to do is it's going to open up a lead. Okay. So within each of these, and you can always go back. See, I've got my new one here. It's set to new. I've just added it in. I've manually created it. If you've been getting leads from Houzz, it's going to say that it came from Houzz, or if you create it yourself, it will say manual. So when I go into it, this is now where I can organize the stage. I can organize my notes on it. I can store files, but the whole purpose of it is I just want to keep on top of it. And above and beyond that, I can also communicate directly with them. So if you've added their email address, this message, it's going to go right from you to them. They don't have to have Houzz. It's going to go right to their email. But on the left-hand side, these are all the different tools that you can be using. Anyone have any questions so far before I keep going?
No, a lot of shaking heads.
Okay.
What I'd say to reiterate, Steph, is by putting as much information as possible in there. I've seen a lot of, Houzz clients putting in like Joe, and then it gets quite confusing. So like what you have there, Joe, Houzz extension, Brighton, that's going to make it a lot easier for the team if they need to come back in and there's a reference point. But I suppose with everything, the more you label it, the more clear you label it, the easier it's going to be for you going forward. Hopefully you'll have hundreds of people in here.
Yeah. And yeah, and just think again, like everything that you put in here, this is for yourself and your team to stay organized. So inputting everything in a way that's going to be most efficient for you guys, that's exactly what you want to do. So I'm going to go into this. So on the right-hand side here, this is the first thing I'm going to show you. This is where you can update the stage. So if you've just added it, it's obviously just going to be set to new. If you've followed up, it's going to change to followed up. And then if you've connected with them, change it to connected. If you've got a meeting scheduled, proposal sent, again, this is just going to allow you to go in and be like, okay, these are all the ones I still need to follow up with. These are the ones that I haven't contacted yet. And that's going to show up in your main dashboard too. So as you can see, this one is set to meeting scheduled. I've connected with these two. This one I haven't done anything. And then this one I followed up with. So that's what that looks like there. And then on the left-hand side here under notes, so this is one of the best tools that I think the CRM has, because this is going to allow you to add like any information on the status of like your follow-up on that lead. So say you get off a phone call with Joe and you can say, just spoke to client, they have purchased a new property and are moving in July. Get in touch next Friday to schedule a site visit. So it can be in as much detail as possible. Again, this is what's going to help you, and this is what's going to help you stay organized and win this job. So even if this is just like really, really minimal, even if it's like you called them, left a message, at least again, like you know where you're at with it. A lot of people, it'll take them like 3 contacts before they get a hold of someone. So being able to see, okay, you can also log a call. So called them, they didn't answer, I left a message. Having all of that there, again, you're going to know where you last left off. But yeah, I think it's especially important for a lot of ones where people aren't necessarily ready to get started right away, or if they come back to you, you've got everything here that you need. And then that's going to allow you to either set up a message with them quickly or set up a meeting with them quickly, or get a proposal out the door for them. So so that's what that looks like. Go ahead.
2 questions here, Steph. So Catherine is wondering, does the client see the notes?
No.
This is just for us.
Yeah.
And then Claire is saying, like, when you send the emails or send the messages, how does the client receive them?
Yep. So when they receive them, they're just going to get it into their inbox, and it's just going to be coming from your business name. And they'll be able to respond directly back to that message. Cool.
Perfect.
Fab. Okay. So moving on from any other questions about the notes, you guys, before I move on? Think we're all good? Cool. And then the next one is under files. So this one is great. So this is where you can store everything that they have sent you or anything that you need. You have the option, whatever you upload here, you have the option to share that with the client or keep it internal. So whatever works best for you. Once you save something here, and then say you end up winning this job, that all that information is now and going to move over to the project section. So you'll have it saved here forever. Anyone can access it on your team. So if you're on site, you'll be able to access it. If one of your designers is also on site, they have access to it. So yeah, so basically you would just upload it as a regular file. I've actually got some in another one that I've put together. Let me just show you. So in this one here, under files. As you can see, I've got 3 different items in here. So you just click upload file, grab whatever it is that you're looking for. So a good example of this is like an inspiration shot, a floor plan. If they've sent you any photos of their current property, if there's any photos of things that they like, all of that can be saved here. If you've put something together with the team, you can save this here. There's also like a folder system. Yeah, so you can add basically anything and have this saved all in one spot. That one's pretty self-explanatory. Is there any other questions there? Jonathan, am I
No,
missing anything?
no, I think you've boxed all that. When I share a project with the client, what can he see exactly from Marco?
Got it. Great question. Okay, so since this here is still the lead section, so remember, this is the business that I haven't closed yet. I'm still working on all of these. So when you want to actually share something with a client, you have to send it. You can send it 2 ways. One, through the client dashboard, which I'll go to in a second. Or if you're sending something like a mood board, you can send that to them through the CRM as well. So say I win this project. So I'm going to go into this one. I've won it. I then click convert to project, and then it's going to ask me information on it. So I got this one as a referral. My expected start date is the 31st. My estimated revenue, since I spoke to them, I know now is going to be higher. You can put the profit in here if you want to, and then you click convert. So now what this does is this moves this from this section on the left where it says leads into projects. So it's no longer in here. It's now moved over into here. So I can see it at the top. So then when you click on this, it's going to pull over everything that I've already got stored in there. So here's all my files that I'd saved, but it's now opened up all of these new tools that I can use. And then I can start sharing with the client. So yeah, just to show you how you share. So with each of them, so there's what we call a client dashboard. So this is where you can actually choose specific things that you want to send back and forth to them. So with any of those files, you can select share on them, and then we'll add it to this dashboard, which you can then send back and forth. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah. Cool. Great. I think, yeah, that's pretty much the gist of, yeah, what the CRM looks like. Any other questions on that, you guys?
I've got a question on the emails that you send out. That's okay.
Yes.
So I've been sending the emails back to clients when they're going to refer off from Houzz, but I can't ever adapt them. So I can't put in my own font. I can't put in my own logo. They often clump together. It's a tiny, tiny space to write the email in, and
Yeah.
it's really difficult. I find it really annoying. So often I just take the email address from them and send it from my own place, because I find the email it just doesn't, it's not comfortable to work with.
Got it. So you just think the space is too small?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's like the formatting options that you have here, and that's really good feedback. And honestly, we can feed that up to the product team. Another thing that I didn't touch on that you can do is, if it, like, this is a little bit different, but you can also set up templates.
Have templates.
So if, for example, like you have, this will also help you save time. So if, for example, like you want to set up a response that you send to everyone, a lot of people will set up like 3 of them. So they'll be like general, interested, unavailable, or not a fit. So you can click on create new, make whatever one you want. So you could be like standard, Houzz response, and then input everything in here. So this is where you can probably see it a lot better and format it exactly how you want. And then you'll be able to send it to them. And so if you add this one, let me just put this in here, and then you click save. So then this is automatically going to show up. So now when I go to templates again, and then I go customize, see this one is right here now. I can actually star this and I can remove any of these ones that I don't want. So every time I go in, all I have to do is click select, and then that same response is going to show up. So that's for more so, I would say, like, of course you can do that, but it's not going to be for a specific email. So if you wanted to say, for example, like every Friday, you want to go through and just send everyone like the same follow-up, say, because like they haven't answered you, you can just go in, select the template, and then add it and then send it to them. When you respond to them, yeah, I think me and all like the account managers can agree on this. What you want to do is make sure, like, make the goal to get in touch with them and get on the phone with them as soon as you can. So yeah, whether those are leads from Houzz or whether those are from like ones that you've manually created, yeah, just try and get on the phone with them. But yeah, this will save you time when you're going through it, and just trying to get a response back from them with the templates. Okay, and then next question, can you add 2 email addresses for a couple? Will they both get sent the dashboard messages each time? Jonathan, I'm not sure about this. Can you do that?
So you can't at the moment, but it has been a massive request, and it's in the roadmap for this quarter. So that should be coming in soon. Which would be good to have.
Perfect.
And then can you hyperlink? Can you hyperlink on the messages? Yes, you can. So yeah, you can just put it in and then just add in the email address, or not email address, but the link to whatever document
Link
you
to the
want.
website, yeah. Like,
you can add that in.
Yeah, so you add that into here, and yeah, that's gonna go again like right to their email coming from you. So I'm just going through the questions, seeing if we're missing any other ones. Okay, how do you invoice the proposals and keep track of the payments? This one, I think we're going to do a different webinar on this, because this one is specific to the finance part of it. So this is still just CRM, but what you can do is for the estimates and the proposals, you can send that right from the CRM. So if you've created a proposal and sent it to them, that's also going to be attached to the lead. And what that will do is that it will also change the stage to where it says estimate sent or proposal sent. So that's going to show up like as a status, where when you go, once you've sent it and you go into your dashboard and look at all of your leads, you're going to be able to see, okay, I've sent the proposal already. Even if you're doing that outside of Houzz, you can still change that stage. But if you're sending it directly from Houzz, then it will automatically update it for you.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Yes, go ahead.
Jenny's asking if there's no email listed in the client details, they've not submitted one.
Yeah. So what you do with this one, so if you get one that's come from Houzz, automatically their email is going to be in there and it's going to be attached to it. In that situation, if it came from Houzz, and you do want to find their email and send it an email directly, that's just under company and then click on clients. And so this here, and you click on show leads. And so this is where you can find everyone's email address. So even if you've gone through and you've added the email addresses in as you put the leads in, it's going to connect it. So every email for each of these clients, that's also automatically going to get sent over here. And so if you just want to go through and see what this is, then you've got it. And then, but if you've added it manually, that's where you have to add it in. So if you add it from the very beginning, you would add it in here. And then also, if you don't do that right away, you would click on this and then you could add it in up here. So if you click on edit, then you would just input it over on this side. And this is where it's going to ask you, like, if you ever say as you go, if they don't give you their address right away, and you just know Joe has this project, you can add that and then go add this in a little bit later on, or say you want to change the lead name, if you want to change where it came from. That's just by clicking this little pencil up here. So yeah, what a lot of designers will do is after they win the project, they'll move it over and then they'll rename it and give it a code, or they'll rename it so they're all exactly the same. So everyone runs their project by address, so on and so forth. Again, it's just going to keep you organized. Cool.
And I suppose what you touched on as well, Steph, with relation to the client dashboard, and there was a question like, what does the client see?
Mhm.
When you do get to the client, when you convert something into a project, and you can send things to the client dashboard, but it's very much dependent on what you give permissions for. So if you create daily logs, for example, you can send those daily logs to the client dashboard, but you can also keep the daily logs where it says, you know, the vanities were delivered, but 2 of them were smashed. You can keep that one private. Maybe you don't tell the client straight away about that. So it just totally depends on what visibility you want to give the client. Again, if you're doing things like the schedule, you can choose to invite the client in, send the schedule to the client, which I definitely recommend giving clients access to your schedule, just so that they can see where you are in the project, or where they're expecting things to be at in the project. So yeah, it's totally bespoke, and again, you are the one in control. If you want to give them permissions to a certain document, you certainly can.
Yeah. Because with these ones, Jonathan, you might have to help me out here. With these ones, the ones that they send you, can you share these with them or no? The files.
Yes, you can share the files and photos.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so yeah, and again, it goes both ways. Lots of times it's going to be like the client sending you this, or you have this internally. But if you want to share it to them, then you can. Or if you're making them like a mood board, or if you're sending them like a floor plan, obviously, yeah, you can share both of those too.
And I suppose, speaking of permissions, like if you invite team members in, again, you can dictate their permissions. Maybe you have an intern in, you obviously don't want them to have, you know, a view of the financials. You're fully in control of your team members, and what it is that they see. So just as we were touching on permissions there, it's very
Yeah.
bespoke.
So you can keep these like if even say for example like everyone has a different role and you don't want them to see like be able to if you have someone that you don't want them to be able to get in touch with all of the leads and things like that, then you can remove them from that part of it. And yeah, keep those permissions as they are. One thing I will like another piece of advice that I would recommend is that like try and keep this organized and keep it cleaned out. So if for example like this person, it's been like 150 days since you last spoke, you just archive it. I would recommend, or anything that you don't win, archive. So it's going to ask you, why are you archiving it? The more information that you tell us, also like the more like if it's a lead from Houzz, it will help us. But yeah, so say for example you don't provide this service, or say you were unable to reach them. If you do this, it's going to remove it. But if they do come back later on, then it's still going to come back into your inbox. So it's not like you're going to lose it forever, but it's just easier to work on like a much more, what do you call it? Like just a much cleaner area that you know that you can be on top of without having too much noise in the background. And you can also send this message that goes to them as it's been unresponsive, and then maybe they'll come back to you. Great. Yeah, Jonathan, anything else that I've missed, you think?
No, I think we've boxed it all off. Yeah, I think that was quite well done, Steph. Do you want me to share my screen and we'll close her out?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I suppose thanks for Steph for the demo. And I suppose, you know, from the beginning of the chat, when you asked, are people using the CRM? We got a couple of no's, but I mean, can you see the benefits of a CRM tool? And like, are you guys going to be utilizing it going forward to communicate with your clients? I see some nodding heads. Good, good, good. And then, you know, if you wanted to put into the chat, like some of the key takeaways you had. Yes, we're getting a lot of yeses in the chats. Perfect. No, SGA. We'll win you around SGA at some point. And what I'm going to do here is put in a form. So just basically if you guys wanted to fill it out, or if you could fill it out, and just what you want to cover more of in the next sessions, and you know, basically what you thought and how we can better improve these sessions. So that would be fantastic. Yes, Charlotte, we will be sending around the recording. We'll be putting it up and sharing it around. And then upcoming sessions. So the next session is this day 2 weeks. So it's every second week at this time. How to keep your projects on track. So I'll be running through schedule, tasks, and daily logs. You know, and a lot of that builds on what Steph just went through there, and how you can just keep good communications with your clients, your subcontractors, your guys on site, whoever that might be. Then the 13th of June is 3D floor plan and mood boards, and the 27th is Clipper selections and tracker. And then we will be doing an in-person event in Q4, so a little bit away, but it will come around very quickly. And that's it for today's session. Thank you very much,
Okay,
guys.
thanks, everyone.
Really appreciate you coming along. Hope to see you next in Thursday week for a bit of schedules. My favorite topic. Thanks a million, folks.
Thanks.